We already know what's happening. Yeah.
Since this will be the final class trial,
Oh.
I've come up with a special rule. So listen up. If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school, you guys win. But if you can't, then I win. And of course, waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super heart-pounding punishment!
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not. Bears never go back on their word.
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
Is the mastermind only one person? Don't bother. I already know the answer. You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it.
Dumbass. Idiot.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right.
Hit the wrong button?
Hey,
Dang.
you stole my line. You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
What? Wait, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us each have that kind of evidence?
No, it's wrong. It's not just you three. I have evidence too.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Oh, so they just edited us out.
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different. With the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right. Because in my picture... See? I'm the only one not in it.
Oh, I see. Figured as much. In which case?
Hero, you have a picture too, right? Let's see it.
Okay, but be careful with it. It's pretty important evidence.
This one too. It's just like I thought. Alright. Let me see. So, Monokuma just edited each of us out of our pictures. Interesting.
So the secret in these pictures has been revealed.
Secret or whatever, I don't care. You guys are all in on this together. That's why I'm the only one missing.
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning and fighting with each other. The mastermind laid a trap to make us each think everyone else was working against us. Huh? A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
Preventing to reveal Monokuma's trip. Each photo has certain something.
I got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing. In the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing.
Dang. Man, most of these people are dead. That makes me upset. Because, like, come on. There's some cool guys here.
And in the picture Hero got, he's the only one missing.
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
In other words, Monokuma gave each of us a group photo in which that person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
You know, there might be more to this than just Monokuma trying to confuse us. Something else that bothers me about everyone else's picture. It's sticking at me.
Can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking about, but I'd like to double check something.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Sure, there's something unusual about these group photos. What is it? I need to compare each of them one more time. Byaku's picture. Oh, that's a big fish. Nice picture, though. Hina's picture. I like this one as well. Hero's picture. Oh man, Mondo's sleeping in class. What an idiot. And mine. Dang. Some really good pictures. I like the artwork there. What's strange about all of them? I can't quite pin down something.
Can you just forget about the photo already? Ugh. Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
And on top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
So you think they're fake? No. I assure you, they're quite real.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that, so it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong. I don't remember taking this picture either. But is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
The reason I don't remember this picture is necessarily because some other reason, some terrible reason, unbelievable, entirely horrifying reason. Okay. Hangman's Gambit. Amnesia. There we go.
Now I understand. Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense. As if. You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
Yeah, we all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
Natural out there wouldn't believe it. No matter how much they refuse, that's the absolute truth. They have no choice. Can't move forward until they accept it. There's no way to prove besides those pictures. Oh!
You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened. So the idea that we all lost our memories...
It's totally stupid. Obviously. You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some...
I promise you, I haven't lost... Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
I bet you didn't remember everything. You didn't remember this.
Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
Oh man, I wish.
It's
Nah,
nothing
just kidding.
like
Just
that.
kidding.
It's a video of all of us.
When you say all of us, you mean
I mean all of us, including you.
you lied! I never did any kind of interview.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself. The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I lost my memory somehow?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here.
To be honest, I have something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster, right? What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could. Even me. I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else. Nobody remembers. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not.
Accidentally hit the button there.
Even if I bought the whole amnesia thing, the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, you can't move forward until you accept it.
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I know it sounds absurd, but if it's the truth, there's nothing we can do about it.
Indeed. We only have one path in front of us.
Then, I really...
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all making my head hurt.
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie! You figured that part out too, huh?
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
How could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains? Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us. That's what you're trying to say, right?
I knew I could count on you.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking away our memories.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
The original motive.
You mean the motive you came up with to try and get us to all kill each other?
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does. But that part's still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy, but let's all focus on the close trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else.
So we did that. Well, the other way, we have to explain every last remaining mystery. So, killed Mukuro, true mastermind. That's what we need to expose.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything.
Dang it.
That much I'm sure of.
I just missed both of those.
Is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
make me so sure?
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here.
Shoot you in the brain.
The mastermind is probably a million miles away.
Oh,
Those
fuck.
masterminds always lurk off in the background, right?
There's somewhere in the school. The way they could have controlled that machine.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind that much entry.
When you is the mastermind?
Of course, they have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is probably a million miles away.
No.
Easy.
There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control it all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What?
Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
Yeah.
So if the mastermind is in the school, we have to assume it can only be that 16th student.
But how'd they manage to survive all of this?
So we're the only ones here? It's not me! I'm not the mastermind!
Well, it's not me.
I blame Makoto. What?
Why me?
'Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
Oh, I get it. The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
No. It's alter ego.
Nuts! Ya got me!
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro.
That's a good point. Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work solving this mystery.
Yeah,
Well, someone could have
that's
faked
not
their
how we always
death.
spent talking about the murder.
He's right. What more is there to talk about? If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
I got it!
Oh, the
All of
wounds.
wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma file, right?
Yeah, they were several days old.
Made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago, so they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old. That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
Huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know. You're wrong. She denied me.
Sure.
Before I could even say anything.
Nope.
I mean, you think I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
Sure, we're gonna deny you. Why bother saying it in the first place?
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in battle. Are you finished? You didn't deny me this time, Slimesy. You made me go all cutesy.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Well, yeah.
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds.
No, he's wrong.
Shut up.
No, Mukuro didn't
Yeah.
suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
To be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school. In which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her.
But if that's what killed her, then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night? Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant. If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. So who was it that attacked you?
And you're the one who attacked me. Anyone else? Mastermind.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the true mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me. But I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
There's no way the girl's the one who attacked me, even if I didn't see their face. A very obvious fingering tattoo. Yeah. Be obvious. Okay, so there's no way it's gonna be that easy. You gotta memorize
You
something.
saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that mask. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba.
No, come on.
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot? Or perhaps the left foot? Or could it be the hips?
Hmm?
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba.
You're wrong.
Even without, there's another part of the attack.
Oh? And is it the right hand? Or the left hand?
Nope. Dang it. Ew, wow, Makoto. Okay, yeah.
Shoot. You never saw their face, right?
One sec. Great. Oh, dang it. Doesn't have the truth bullets from the previous case. Alright, well. That was on one of her hands.
So you can't have any idea. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba.
You're wrong.
Even without, there's another part of the attack.
Oh? And is it the right hand? Or the...
There we go.
Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, you know, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it couldn't have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh. No snappy comeback? Did I score a bullseye?
No, Kyoko was there.
I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Oh, she's gonna show her hand scars. Is removing her gloves. That thing getting let out a gasp. It's more than just a little burned
Awful,
skin.
isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on. Dang.
My scars should suffice as proof. Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
Only one place. Can't think of anywhere else.
I got it! Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
Biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue. So it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
Yep, it was the tarp.
I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
You made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
That's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
You talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
Consistency.
La, 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 I can't hear you. La, 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
Need to pull myself together and think.
Hey, by the way, Makoto,
Oh.
what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Need to calm down. Can't let him get to me. Just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. I want to shut him up and expose. Inconsistency has to be the one area numbers just don't match up. Bolt time battle? Oh man.
Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? Proof! 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 Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? I'm not listening!
Hold on, wait.
What are you even talking about? What do you want?
Okay.
I'm not listening!
Biolab
This
lights.
should prove it.
Okay, that was actually pretty hard. Dang.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is the lights.
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in, and there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
Which be on is 10.
10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right, the key to solving the mystery. Saika died first. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Rip to my man. Rip to my other man, and then Hifumi was cool too, but I mean, yeah, not as cool. Yeah, she was a bitch. Sakura was 9th. Victim number 10 was Mukuro.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious.
Maybe.
But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
There are less bodies than murders. The explanation. Why is that? Let me take it.
I got it!
I think.
What about if the same person was killed twice?
Yeah, because then.
Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. Still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious, because Kyoko's totally delusional!
definitely gonna have to remember something.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Mondo Owada? Kiyotaka Ishimaru? Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu, whatever? Or maybe Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
A girl died from the wound she had all over her body. Yeah, it was Junko.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima?
Oh, what? You wound me, Mukuro.
Shoot!
It was Junko.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Mondo Owada? Kiyotaka Ishimaru? Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu, whatever? Or maybe Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
Okay.
Who is this someone else? Was it Sayaka Junko Enoshima?
Out of here.
What's wrong? Junko, wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered,
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
so let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
It's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive. She took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive. The one that's still alive is Mukuro. But really believe that. No, there's no way Mukuro Ikusaba is still alive. Okay.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro!
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
Could be true. Couldn't be in the body we found in the garden. Really possible.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
The body we found, it wasn't Mukuro.
Nope. I'm an idiot.
Shoot! The body we found in the garden, it wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
Nope. Nope. I'm stupid. Stupid and idiot, and I'm gonna lose, and I'm gonna like die. And it's gonna be sad.
Found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Okay, wait. 1 sec. Let's just check the truth bullets we have. So it doesn't seem like that's gonna be the Monokuma file. Mukuro. A single scar wound. Oh, yeah, it's the profile.
Then she's still alive? That's right. So the mastermind...
What do you say, Monokuma?
The body we found in the garden, it wasn't Mukuro.
No, that's wrong.
Out of here.
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Look like they died, but they're actually still alive. Only one person it could be.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Gotcha, bitch.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes. If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade.
Yeah, that was Mukuro.
But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Mention it. I placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. Took her wrist to check a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. Wasn't like that's the whole point
Was
here.
dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive...
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? She was dead, I'm sure of it. She were alive, so it could be that Junko's not the one that died. Junko. Replica? It's replica. Ah, replaced. So it's a big ol' A. There, that's it.
Now I understand.
Now he understands.
That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
How to explain how I got a switch?
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met is actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had, like, a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup in the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
Star refuses to admit it, but trying to see. Oh wow, I kind of forgot I was recording here because I've already figured it out. And Junko's during our latest investigation.
Shoot!
Oh, tried to hide Julius not once but twice during our latest investigation. Right. I don't even know what I was thinking there. Group photo?
Shoot!
Dang it. Latest investigation? Is it the... Okay. Okay, man. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Check. It's not that. Huh. Is it fatal injury? I hope so. Fuck. The hell is it? Oh. It's the damn file. No.
Shoot!
So. Oh god, I can't quick save. Shit. I might just clap myself here. Thinking tarp. Nope. Okay. It's not the Monokuma file. Oh, the interview DVD, because Monokuma. Oh.
While I was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
Just a monitor. Yeah. Yeah. Now then, when does it matter? Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke.
That wasn't fluke. The Mastermind definitely orchestrated that power outage. It's the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. Oh no, no, no. Is it a bullet time battle?
Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about? What do you want? That's impossible!
This should prove it. The video wasn't the only thing you tried to cover up. You did the same thing with this group photo.
Uh-oh.
I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we'd gotten. In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
All these pictures. Alright.
Shoot!
Okay. These pictures. It's Junko's face is always facing away. Yeah, I see.
Junko's face. The one thing in common to every single photo is that you can't see her face. It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think? And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here is the real Junko, which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Xanadu!
I believe everything Makoto said is true. Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
Xanadu times 2!
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
No, wait, hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything, right now.
Wait, what? Okay. Identity, the ultimate fashionista who I met in the main hall. I see. Try and keep Mukuro's body. Right now, this would be them taking it out. Right. Why not? It's not even from this trial, that's the blue tarp. Right. Then, so then it's thinking, right, well, doesn't make sense, but I'm just gonna assume it's this. Try and attack me with something. What was it? What was this knife? Kyoku. They put it on Mukuro's body. Just sort of sitting there and then...
The killer is you! We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko and Oshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko and Oshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue, until Junko decided to put her body to use. Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who proved it being one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school.
Alright, so it's not that. Oh.
The killer is you! Meanwhile, she wanted... So she put on a mask and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place. Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder. And the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko and Oshima. That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's
Oh,
over.
sure.
Over? Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
Well,
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear. If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, and some of our home cooking. Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you. It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
this is the mastermind? She's the real Junko and Oshima.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free. Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day. It was like I was stuck in purgatory, or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Face.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
Yeah.
I got it! That's right. It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began...
Are you talking about like cover photos and junk? Well, of course, those are totally photoshopped. Photoshopped? Yeah, like, you know, edit the hell and back with like computers and junk. Oh, so they aren't real.
Sometimes a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist.
What?
Not even if they're twins.
Twins?
I know, it's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship. The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima!
What?
And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the ultimate despair!
Whoa! She's a totally different person now!
Why'd she go from, I'm so sad, yeah, fuck you, but yeah.
I even get fucking bored with myself! But if you're twins, why do you have different last names? Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit? Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it forced me to tears. Answering the same questions over and over? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
But if she was your twin, that means you killed your own sister?
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. As if.
Well, I suppose I'd better explain. For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scenes. The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life. I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the 3 atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive. It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause. She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away. Which is precisely why I killed her, to meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know? If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring. So, I changed things just a bit and decided to use Mukuro to make a little point.
In other words, Mukuro's death was a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal, just as I suspected. When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
Man, Junko's real fucking annoying.
So, you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
How can you talk like that? You sacrificed your own sister. How does that not even bother you?
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the collar? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary. We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. No, I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all. When I was born, I cried tears of total despair. So that's why for us, it's not a big deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything. We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret.
So you just murdered your own sister and didn't think anything of it? That's not true at all. We were twins. How could I not be sad? That's why it gets me so excited.
Oh, she got mushrooms on her head now.
Killing my precious sister with my own 2 hands. That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but put a super in front of it. It's like super, 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 super despair. No, more than that. Super, 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 super despair. It just feels so good.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And my sister too. In that moment of death, I think she must have felt that despair. After all, to be murdered by your own sister, and only as an example to someone else, she must have died feeling such excruciating hopelessness. I'm so jealous of her. Super jealous.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormality.
Turning your own despair into some kind of fetish. abnormality doesn't even begin to describe it.
Like, Genocide Jill is crazy for sure, but this is a whole nother level of nuts!
You're saying I don't compare to some lowly beast that can only kill the weak, right? So, I'm hopelessly attractive, hopelessly brilliant, hopelessly athletic. I'm the hopelessly perfect ultimate human.
No. I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you just said.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect. Because on top of everything else, he's got that noble blood.
Huh? Don't you mean had that noble blood?
What did you just say? What do you mean by that?
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys are so slow! You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are, yapping away!
Are you talking about our memories?
You've already solved this mystery, right? I'm the killer! So how about the next one? Maybe you should solve the riddle of your missing memories. Then you can start gloating!
Damn straight! That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to solve all these mysteries. And then we'll have our victory!
I can't wait!
Alright, then let's just get straight to the point. What memories did you steal from us?
When the group pictures were taken, and those interviews, it must mean... I got it! It must have something to do with our entrance exams.
No fair! At least give us a hint!
Your brains are like sponges, all drippy and leaky. I already gave you a hint before. All the memories you lost share something in common with a few other things. Do you recall?
Thinking back to what Monokuma's told us, we're stone from us, nothing else we're related to do.
I got it! You're talking about the motives you provided to try and get us to kill each other, right?
So you do remember after all. Well, I would hope you wouldn't forget something so important. It was stupid of me to even ask. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for my bad manners. So then, let me ask you another question. Did you notice that each motive I presented you had a specific theme to it?
Theme?
Yep, you got it. So that's my question to you all. When Sayaka was murdered, what was the theme of the motive I presented?
You notice.
I got it! The driving force behind the motive you presented us with at that point was human connections.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Remember those DVDs I gave you guys? Each video showed the total destruction of your most important relationships. For example, your family. For example, your friends. I ruined all those relationships and showed you the results. It was to motivate your desire to escape and kickstart your urge to kill. But still, what a cruel thing to do.
You're the one that did it!
Yes, well, I'm perfectly happy to accept your disapproval.
Okay! Time for the next question! So, what was the theme for the second motive?
Second motive theme was, let me get those weird elements. Yeah. The past.
It was our past, right?
Yay! Makoto got it right again! That time, the theme was... embarrassing memories and secrets! Yeah! And the whole reason Mondo did what he did was to protect his secret.
So, how long do you plan on dragging this out?
Relax, relax. Okay, on to the next question. So,
Yeah.
what was the motive for the third murder?
Third murder was, the reason Celeste turned to murder was, right, European castle. Greed.
It was money, wasn't it? Greed.
Seek and destroy! Hell yeah, you got it again! Goddamn straight it was money. Celeste killed Hifumi and Taka for a little personal gain. Her greed led to all kinds of death and destruction.
What's the point of all this? Why are you making us go through this case by case?
Don't worry, sweet cheeks. Just one more to go. Now, can you tell me the motive behind crazy-ass Sakura's crazy-ass death?
There's death. Do it, Hanakama. Blackmail. Alright.
Shoot!
Okay. What was it? Secrets, right? Secrets. Okay, so it's betrayal.
I got it!
Dang it, I'm bad at this.
It was betrayal.
Precisely. You see,
Man,
once I revealed Sakura's betrayal, that led to everything that came afterwards. Anyway, it looks like you answered all of my questions correctly. How painfully delightful.
But what's the point? What meaning is there in asking those questions now?
Relationships? Secrets? Money? Betrayal? These are all pretty standard motives, right? The most normal of normal. Totally middle of the road.
But of course, those aren't the only motives that exist in this world. In fact, there are as many reasons to kill as there are people on Earth. They compel humans to kill each other, bringing despair to the world. This is what we refer to as the seed of despair.
Seed of despair?
Just as water, air, and food promote growth in living things, the seed of despair also needs nourishment. And that nourishment is hope. Despair can grow only in the presence of hope. Two sides of the same coin, divided by a razor-thin line. Such is hope and despair.
How much longer is this stupid speech of yours? Weren't we discussing our missing memories? Why are you trying to change the subject?
If you would listen, you would see I'm not changing the subject. We are discussing your memories. What I'm trying to say is, the seed of despair is closely tied to your own memories.
How so?
You see, by taking away your memories, I gave you hope. Of course, that hope merely existed to be consumed by despair.
How could taking away someone's memories give them hope?
And plus, you haven't given us any hope anyway.
It made them forget the tragedy.
All you've been able to think about during your time here is how to escape, right? The mere fact that that's what you want proves I gave you hope.
What are you talking about?
If none of you wanted to escape this school, the killings never would have taken place. That is why we took your memories, so that you would have the desire to leave.
The only reason we want to leave is because you took our memories. Is that what you're saying?
Correctamundo!
Which means if we did have our memories, then we wouldn't want to leave. Do I...
What? Why the hell would having our memories make us not want to leave?
A most troubling thought, isn't it? But it's not enough. I want more distress, more despair. I put so much effort into creating hope in order to feed your despair and make it grow. So, just like Crazy Eddie slashing his prices and passing the savings on to you, let me give you a hint. Huh? Really?
Then hurry up and tell us.
Okie dokie. Like they say, seeing is believing. I'd like for you to see the outside world.
Outside world.
You mean the world beyond the school walls?
So something really did happen out there.
Now are you interested in what I have to say? You wanna see what's out there? I wanna see too. See your faces sink into despair. Now then, open sesame! Behold, the world beyond the school walls! you've all been so anxious to claw your way back into.
This some bullshit, man. Oh. This Monokuma just took over the dang world.
Dangerous. The world has grown so very dangerous. That's what this means.
What are you talking about? None of this makes any sense!
What am I looking at?
This is a scene from a movie or something, right?
What you just saw, all of you should recognize it.
Should recognize it. What should we recognize? The whole thing is insane.
Is locked away within the memories that were taken from you. If you can't remember, please just try. Do your best to try and recall.
Better kick your brain in the ass, because it's up to that brain lump whether you live or die. I don't remember ain't a fucking excuse no more, because now it's time for the final class trial.
What the fuck? What does that mean?
Come on, bitches! Remember or die! What the fuck happened outside?
You want us to remember or whatever, but when it comes to that crazy confusing video you showed us, I don't understand a damn thing!
What's the meaning of the footage we saw? Is this another one of your practical jokes?
I mean, you're telling us to remember, but what am I supposed to be remembering?
Nobody can remember anything.
Except.
No, it's wrong. Actually, she might remember.
Who might remember?
The other Toko, Genocide Jack.
What?
The two of them share certain kinds of knowledge, but their memories aren't linked, right?
I see. If their memories are separate, then even if one personality's forgotten, there's a chance the other may still have those memories.
What do you say, Toko?
Are you telling me to swap places with her? No! Absolutely not! That'd be like forfeiting my entire identity!
Toko, you're the only one we can rely on now.
Da-da-da-da! It's me, your friendly neighborhood serial killer! Boy, she just gave in like it was nothing.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to have it answered immediately. Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right now.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet ya!
Nice to meet you too.
That's enough! Just look at the stupid screen!
Aye, aye! Roger, you got it, Captain!
Well, does it look familiar?
I don't have all the details, but... Of course it does!
Then you remember all the stuff it's showing?
Of course I do!
So you didn't lose your memory after all.
Then why didn't you say something earlier? I only answer questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know? Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the world.
More importantly, if you really do remember, what is it?
Huh? What's the matter, Master? Do you really not remember the tragedy?
A tragedy?
Oh no! You seriously forgot? Maybe I can help you remember with a kiss.
Just answer the question. What happened out there?
Well, I can't really say if it happened or if it's still happening, but it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Why is that phrase coming up now?
Because it's all because of that event. What is? Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is now.
Is... now?
The world's been destroyed, get it?
Explain explain yourself. Tell us everything you know.
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened about a year ago. It was so big and so bad that even this murderous fiend went pale at the sight of it. I guess you could say what happened was man-made. But it was more on the level of a worldwide natural disaster. Either way, there's no doubt that it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history! And as a result, in basically no time flat, the world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
That's all there is to it? Come on! There wasn't a single concrete description in there!
Well, it just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss Morose saw it all play out in real time, so why don't you ask her?
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
I couldn't live up to Master's expectations! To die! To die! This is a true tragedy!
Okay, that's enough of your little lover's quarrel. Whatever happened, it doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right? The end justifies the means. Everything serves the outcome. In other words, the world has ended. That's the important thing.
How can the world just end? It's the world!
Calm down. It's okay. There's no need to panic. Every living person will be dead in 100 years anyway, so the world ending isn't that big a deal.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous, I have another ridiculous story to tell you. It's the story of the Tagami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life all its meaning.
What? What did you say?
I'm glad to see you took the bait. You bit into it like a middle-aged secretary at an all-you-can-eat cake buffet.
Hey! So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
Correct! Well done, peasant!
But I didn't say anything yet.
I just got so fucking bored waiting, I couldn't help it! Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles. So, no matter what you pick, you get the right answer. Pretty innovative, don't you think?
But do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy, I mean. Do you think there might be sick?
Anyway, like I was saying, Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family has died. Even the distant relatives. The Tagami name has perished.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Stop! And said with such authority. A peasant would dare challenge us, the avatar of divine punishment? You must learn your place, peasant. You are no longer the ultimate affluent progeny.
They couldn't possibly be gone. The Togami family is destined to guide the world.
Hell, there is no world anymore, remember? It got fucked a full year.
But hold on! That doesn't make any sense!
Huh? I don't make sense.
There's no way that happened a year ago! I mean, we only came to this school a few weeks ago! If some kind of world-ending event happened a year ago, then how do you explain the totally normal world we were living in up till then?
Have you considered the possibility that you're mistaken about that?
Mistaken?
Well, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you arrived here.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he said, we just got here a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago? Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently.
Huh? 2 years.
Well, I mean, you guys all started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
What? 2 years ago? What is that?
What the hell is this chick trying to say?
I understand why you'd have trouble accepting it, but in the end, you can't deny the truth. And the truth is, everything is cause and effect. Deny that, and you may as well give yourself up to God. So, You must surely understand all the hints I've given you so far, right? What are the memories I took from you?
Come now, answer us. Answer with all your heart and soul.
How are we supposed to answer?
I just don't know what's going on anymore.
So we have to answer somehow. Our life at Hope's Peak.
If we accept that what you say is true, then we've all lost our memories of the last 2 years after coming to this school.
Nope. No. I mean, no matter what anyone says,
Another correct answer. Well done, peasant.
Seriously? This routine again?
We've lost 2 years worth of memories?
That's right. You've already spent 2 full years here at Hope's Peak Academy. And that entire period of time is precisely what you've forgotten.
I don't remember the last 2 years of my life. That's not possible!
I think I do. I don't want to believe it. There's nothing but our desire. I don't want to believe. If it's the truth, then we have to accept it. Huh?
Worth of memories. I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years? Hell no! That's impossible! I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything! Heck, I've never even gone to a single class!
This is all just surreal.
Plus, if 2 years have passed, how freaking old am I?
23.
Everyone's so conflicted.
Believe it, bud. Another evidence that reveals the time. The students we lost.
2 years worth of memories. I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years? Hell no! That's impossible! I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything! Heck, I've never even gone to a single class!
But he did.
No, that's wrong. Hero, there's something I'd like you to take a look at. This notebook right here.
Huh? Hey, why is my name written on it?
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you don't mind, could you take a look inside?
Sure, whatever you want. But I've never seen this notebook before in my life.
Wizza, is something wrong?
It's kinda similar. No, even more than that. This is absolutely my handwriting, without a doubt! But how is this? I don't remember ever writing in this thing! No way!
It looks like you actually did attend class here at Hope's Peak, but somehow, you forgot all about it.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
I don't want to believe it either. But there's also no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. But just like Hero, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years of missing memories?
After seeing all the evidence, do you have any choice but to acknowledge the truth?
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery's solved, but it's like a goddamn funeral in here! Shit, man! I've never been to a funeral! Hell yes!
2 years of school life. How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on? How many fun classes? How many school events? This was your chance to build lasting friendships, right? And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair, but then you forgot it all. And once you'd forgotten, you made the choice to subject yourselves to this killing game. Oh, and there's one other thing. To be even more precise, the memories you all lost were...
Actually, never mind. I'm bored. Explaining stuff is boring.
What?
We are bored of this world. Everyone always talks big, declaring all the great things they'll do. But then they always fizzle out. This world is just so desperately fucking boring!
What are you talking about?
In a way, I'm jealous of all of you. To give yourself over so completely to such stimulating...
Yeah, so figure out the rest for yourselves. I'm sick of expositioning all this shit.
I'm sick of this too.
What?
Figure out where your memories come apart. That's at the heart of all of this.
Our memories come apart. She's talking about the moment where we must have lost our memories. At one time.
I got it! The moment I lost my memories. I can't think of any time other than that day. When I first came to the gates of this school and stepped foot in the main hall, when I passed out, I was overcome with a strange sensation.
Wow, you still have enough spirit to keep on talking, huh? So I don't know much about the details, but it seems like everyone remembers passing out, right? And your sense of time got all messed up because of the memory loss after that? I guess it must have been something like that.
After I passed out, I woke up in a classroom with my head on a desk. I assumed not much time had passed since I'd collapsed in the main hall.
But instead, 2 whole years had gone by.
The reason it felt so short was because our memories of the time in between had been completely removed.
You got it, honey. 2 years of memories?
Okay.
Gone. Which means, of course...
When everyone met for the first time, it wasn't actually for the first time.
I'm just gonna leave it right here. Episode's running like far too long, so like I was expecting a regular length class trial, but seems like there's still a lot to go because thinking like Kyoko's dad and shit, but yeah, I'm done. Alright.